وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. طيب تفضل يا حسين. And please raise your voice. So, it's important.
Page 64, Trade Transactions, Chapter 11, Loaning and Loans. This tradition is viewed by scholars as a hadith narrated by the Prophet ﷺ. Thus, it is impermissible for the lender to accept a gift or any form of utility from the debtor. Such a profit is prohibited since lending is supposed to be a kind of leniency on behalf of the Muslim lender towards the needy debtor, and also means to draw near to Allah. So, if the lender stipulates or anticipates a profit, then he violates the aim of lending, that is, to draw near to Allah through relieving the needy instead of seeking a profit from him.
Right. Yes. Continue.
As it will not be considered a good loan.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يرزقنا وإياكم الإخلاص وأن يعلمنا ما ينفعنا وينفعنا بما علمنا إنه جواد كريم. We continue our talk about loaning and loans. As we stopped last time, I just would like to remind about this point. This point related, as we mentioned last time, that the one who is giving loan to his brother, Muslim brother, what's the purpose of this loan? The purpose is what? To help him. So it's a kind of kindness and helping to the Muslim brother. This is what they call it, aqdu irqa, which is, aqd. The purpose of this aqd is to be nice and kind to your fellow Muslim. Based on this, you should not expect that when you give loan to your Muslim brother to get something in return. And I explained in detail last time what the Salaf did and what the Salaf said, that they try, even it is very little thing that they think it will be considered as profit or they benefit from the one that they give or they give him loan, they try to avoid it completely. So when a Muslim gives loan, the purpose is what? For a Muslim who is in need, is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, looking for the reward from whom? لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكور. All what they want is the pleasure of Allah, the reward from Allah Azza wa Jalla. So based on this, there is no need, you should not expect to take any profit or any kind of return or gift from this, the one that you give. As we mentioned also, that if this comes from the one that you give him the loan, by himself, without put it as condition, and without thinking that he will give you more, as expected, that expectation, that you expect that if you give him, he will give you better, then it's okay. And we have in the Sunnah, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, some examples, we mentioned some last week. And we said, like, for example, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one time he took as loan a camel. And then when the time this person he came to get back his camel, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked the one who taking care of the camel, the sadaqah, to give him one. So he returned the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, I didn't find the same, but I found something better. He said, oh, give him better than what he gave us. So it's okay in this regard, because this man, he did not expect it, he didn't ask for it. And also this go along with the hadith of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that when whoever did something good to you, then reward him or give him something as, you know, as you express your appreciation for what he did to you. من صنع لكم معروفا فكافئوه. كافئوه, that means give him something as مكافأة, as reward. فإن لم تستطيعوا, if you can't or you don't have any ability to give him something, you know, to express your appreciation, then at least make dua for him. This is the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So anybody who do anything good to you, you know, if you can give him in return as gift or something like this, this is the sunnah. If you don't, then at least make dua, and maybe the dua is better. The dua is better, you know, because this is something. So in this case, if you take loan from somebody, and he didn't ask you, or he didn't expect, and then you retain the money to him, the debt to him, and then you want to give him something else, is it okay or not? It is okay. Why? Because it's from your own. Okay, this is not something that was come as condition from the one who gave you this loan. No, not the money. The money, this is riba. Okay? Yeah, riba.
Some banks now, what they do is like, acceptable, like, they provide loans for the needy people, like, for example, they buy a house, and they keep a profit and sell it. I mean, the person who buys the house has to pay them with that profit.
Well, I cannot, you know, I cannot judge any transaction unless we see all the detail, okay, of the situation. Because it's not like what you just see. Maybe there are certain rules behind it, we cannot judge it. So it's not easy to get judgment about anything of this transaction unless you know in detail, okay, everything. طيب, because there's the rule or there's قاعدة. الحكم على الشيء فرع من تصور. Okay, to judge something, this based on the way that you see it. The way that you see it or imagine it. نعم. طيب, so here the point. Okay, if there is some kind of relation, as we mentioned last time, that you benefit this man before he gave you this loan. For example, you take the kids of your neighbor every day to school with your kids. This is something it was before you get this loan. And something known as a relation between you and him. And then you get some loan for him, some money. Should you stop and say, no, please, you know, I cannot take your kids because, or he would say, no, don't take my kids because I give you loan? No. Yeah, because it's already going on and it has no relation, okay, with the loan itself. Right? Now, therefore,
Muslims must avoid such transactions that may involve riba. Moreover, they must have good intentions as regards giving loans and doing other good deeds. That is, the purpose of giving loans is not directed to material gain. Rather, it is a means of gaining a moral benefit through drawing near to Allah. This can be attained by relieving the needy without gaining any profit. If a Muslim lender intends to relieve the needy, Allah will bless his money.
now, if you help, brother, take it as rule. Believe. If you give money to the one who is in need and your intention for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then expect that Allah Azza wa Jal more generous than you. You will be one time in need and Allah Azza wa Jal will not let you down. It's very important to have this feeling. Don't calculate it in material form. And say, well, if I give this man, you know, I will lose this. If he is really in need If he is really in need, you know his need, and they come to you and ask, even that you know that he may not be able to return back, and you are able to help him, give it to him, and have the intention that if he returns it will be charity. That means you are not running after him. Okay? And if you can do it, for example, you know that this man never asked you, maybe it's better to give it to him and say, okay, don't worry about it. This is as help from me. But if you know that somebody who is always asking people, and they don't like, to train him to be bigger, that he's all big people, then it's okay to give it to him. And then, if he didn't retain it because if he has no sources to retain it, then give it to him as charity. And this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, وَإِنْ كَانَ ذُو عُسْرَةٍ فَنَظِرَةٌ إِلَى مَيْسَرَةٍ. If is somebody who has difficulty to retain your money, فَنَظِرَةٌ إِلَى مَيْسَرَةٍ, then give him more time. To the time of ease for him. وأنت من الله عز وجل وأن تصدقوا خير لكم. But if you give it as charity, this is more better for you. SubhanAllah, you see the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Now,
it is worth mentioning that the prohibited profit is the stipulated one. For example, the lender may stipulate that he gets back his money with such and such amount of money as due interest.
now this is riba, very clear. Now,
Make use of a house or a shop of the borrower or get gifts from him. It is also forbidden that the lender intends or anticipates taking an increase even if he does not stipulate such an increase. However, if there is some increase given to the lender simply as an act of showing kindness from the borrower, not by means of stipulating, there is no harm in it, as it is considered of the better ways of repaying loans. Once the Prophet ﷺ gave a choice camel in return for a small camel that he had received as a loan. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, "The best amongst you is he who pays the rights of others handsomely." According to the Sharia and common convention, paying the rights of others handsomely is among the good manners, and it is not among the prohibited loans that begets benefits as long as such an increase is neither stipulated nor anticipated by the lender, but it is simply a donation from the borrower. Likewise, it is permissible for the lender to accept the benefit which the borrower used to give him before the loan, as long as it is not given to him because of the loan.
as we said, for example, that benefit him by taking his kids, benefit him, that means you do any service for him, because it's something that was before this time. Now,
the borrower must pay back the loan without procrastination or delay as soon as he is able to afford it. Allah Azza wa Jal says, which translates, "Is the reward for good anything but good?"
هل جزاء الإحسان إلا الإحسان? Somebody did good to you and helped you. Then you were able to retain his money. Why should you delay? And this is a problem of many people right these days. Why people they don't give each other, they don't help each other? Because of course, some people they just take money and they don't return. And especially some people they even they ignore it. Every time you call him, he will not answer. If you go to find him, you will not find it. If you ask about him, he's not there. And you know that he's there. He disappeared just after this, not right. If he's in need, it's okay. We say, we understand it. But some people, they are not. They have a lot of money. And they don't want to return back the money to SubhanAllah. Nah.
However, some people are remiss in giving the rights of others, especially debts. This is a bad manner that has made many people abstain from lending the needy and relieving them. Thus, the needy Muslim may become obliged to borrow from the usurious bank and commit what Allah prohibits, since he finds no one ready to give him a good loan, and the lender finds no one trustworthy to repay him on due time. This leads to the absence of kindness among people.
Subhanallah. Now, we will move to chapter 12. Raise your voice more, please.
Chapter 12. Mortgage. Mortgage refers to the security for a debt against an article that can cover it or its value, in case of non-fulfillment. Mortgaging is permissible according to the Noble Quran, the Sunnah, and the consensus of Muslim scholars. Allah says, which translates, and if you are on a journey and cannot find a scribe, then a security deposit should be taken.
Fine. Bismillah. Now we start, inshallah, the chapter number 12, which is about Ar-Rahan. Mortgage is the Ar-Rahan, called Ar-Rahan. From the verb Rahana. Rahana. Ar-Rahan is that to give somebody something to assure him that you will return his money. Okay, like for example, you take loan from your friend, and then he said, well, it's not very large or a lot of money, that he said, how can I become sure that you will return my money, even though you hold it down? He said, okay, you see this house, this is my house or my apartment, I'll put it as Rahan under your control, okay, and then when I pay, I will not use it, I will not sell it, I will not do anything. So in case that I couldn't pay your money, then you will take it and sell it and you take your money. So this is the point of the Ar-Rahan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when after ayat al-Mudayana, which is, as we said, the longest ayah in the Quran, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا تداينتم بدين إلى أجل مسمى فاكتبوه وليكتب بينكم كاتب بالعدل ولا يأبى كاتب أن يكتب كما علمه الله فليكتب وليملل الذي عليه الحق till the end of the ayah واتقوا الله ويعلمكم الله. And then, so all this about writing the debt. The following ayah said, فإن لم تجدوا كاتبا فرهان مقبوضة. فإن لم تجدوا كاتبا فرهان مقبوضة. مقبوضة, you take it. طيب, and this is the meaning of this ayah. And if you are on a journey and cannot find the scribe, the one who writes down, you know, the amount of the debt, then a security deposit should be taken. Okay, so this the mortgage is like a security deposit, you know, that you take it. Okay, deposit. So you take it, and then when you, like for example, Muhammad, he borrowed from Hussein 100 riyal. And then so he said, well, I don't know, say, okay, take my words, keep it with you, and when I give you, your money you will give me, return it back to me. Is it clear? So this is the meaning of Rahan, security deposit, okay? Now, so it is, as the Sheikh said, this is something is in the Sharia, okay, based on the dalil from the Quran, and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and the census of the ulama, al-ijma. There are three sources here. First of all was what? Al-Quran, where in this surah, Al-Baqarah, فَإِن لَمْ تَجِدُوا كَاتِبًا فَرِهَانٌ مقبوضة فإن أمن بعضكم بعضا فليؤدي الذي اؤتمن أمانة. نعم. And the hadith of Rasulullah is coming. نعم.
When the Prophet ﷺ died, his armor had been mortgaged.
Right, this is another dalil. And this is not the only one. The Prophet ﷺ more than this time, this incident. So when he died, the Prophet passed away, and still his armor, which is the shield that he used during the war, okay, it was given to somebody and it said it's with a Jew. That the Prophet took from him some food, grains, and he didn't have money to pay him. So he put this as deposit or as security deposit or as rahan, so that he will get it back. So this is an example of the sunnah, and this is what we call it as sunnah al-amaliyah, okay, practical sunnah. What the Prophet ﷺ did, because as we said before, the sunnah either statement, qawliya, or practical, amaliyah, okay. So that's the Prophet ﷺ considered as sunnah to follow, and the saying is very clear that it is either command or to forbid certain things. So this is the sort of the sunnah. The third is the ijma'. All the ummah, the ulama, the scholars of all madahib, all school of thoughts in Islam of them, all they are agree on this. No one violates this. Nobody says that it is not lawful or it is forbidden. Now,
scholars unanimously agree that mortgaging is permissible on journeys, and the majority of scholars maintain that mortgaging is also permissible in residence.
Because it's different. Some people, some of the scholars, they took this ayah and they limited to journey, because the ayah talk about kuntum ala safar. But in fact, the correct and the sound view is that at any time. And the belief from the Sunnah, the Prophet ﷺ, he was not in journey. Okay? He was in Medina. Now,
the wisdom behind the legality of mortgaging is to keep properties and protect them against loss.
now,
Allah Azza wa Jal commands Muslims to write down the debt, as He tells His translate, O you who have believed, when you contract a debt for a specified term, write it down.
this is the beginning of the آية المداين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا تداينتم بدين فاكتبوه إلى أجل مسمى فاكتبوه. نعم.
And also He says, this translates, and if you are on a journey and cannot find the price, then a security deposit should be taken.
نعم.
Such permissibility is considered of the mercy of Allah upon His servants, as He guides them to what benefits them. The amount, quality, and description of the collateral must be known.
Yes. Here is the point. It should be should be known for both sides, so they will not have difference. Like for example, I said, okay, I will give you my house as security deposit or as mortgage, okay, as rahan, and you know that I have different houses. So which one? Okay, which one? So it should be very specified. That means it should specify which one. Or items, for example, like cars or whatever. Then it should be specified and should be known for both sides. Now,
man is permitted to mortgage his own property for the debt of another. The collateral must be a property valid for selling in order to enable the creditor to make use of it in case of non-fulfillment.
right, this is the 2 points. First of all, you cannot make as deposit something that you didn't own. Right or not? Don't take money from somebody and say, okay, this building, okay, you can't keep it, and you know that this is in the name of your father or your brother or somebody else. Okay? Second, this thing that should be, it's useful. For example, I give you 100,000 riyal, right? And I know that I have piece of land 50 kilometers out of Jeddah. Doesn't worth anything at this time. If you want to sell it, you will not get more than 5,000, or maybe you get nothing. Then how can this man benefit from such deposit? Right or not? So this is the second condition, that it should be something that paid, okay, back the loan that you got. Now,
It permissible to stipulate the collateral in or after concluding the contract, as Allah says, we translate, and if you are on a journey and cannot find this price, then a security deposit should be taken.
Right. He said here, in or after. In, because you write it down at the time of the giving the loan. Or after, it depends when you are giving something, which is, as we said, deposit here. So either this rahan, it's come at the beginning, at the time of the loan, or later on, okay, it's okay and acceptable. I mean, maybe you take it to sale, and then the following day said, okay, please, I want something to ensure that you return my money. And said, okay, and then you can assign certain mortgage or rahan for him now.
But is it compulsory for him to accept one who took the loan? Like you said that if he comes the next day and says that, can you give me something security deposit?
Yes.
He has to.
Yes. Yes.
Because they're parted away, not among.
Yeah, but you see, as long as there are arrangement between them, there should be, for example, he said, I'll give it, but I don't have it right now. When we return, okay, for example, we were in trouble in Nigeria, and said, I will give you as rahan my car. The car is not there now. So when we return, I give it to you. Get the point? But this is something that should be some agreement at the time of the loan. I mean, when they have this agreement for the loan. Right?
Thus Allah Azza wa Jal has made the stipulation of the collateral a substitute for writing the contract of debt, which is written after the debt becomes in effect and obligatory to be settled by the indebted person. The collateral is obligatory to be given by the debtor as he owes the creditor who is not obliged to accept the collateral and is permitted to cancel the mortgaging contract as he alone has the right to claim it.
Right. The person who gives this rahan, he has no right to cancel it. But the one who took this rahan, because he is the one who is benefiting, this is the one who is benefiting from this. This is the one that he has what? The right to cancel it. Why? Because it's mine, right? I am the one who will benefit from this. Okay? So it's okay, I trust you. No need to give me the deposit. It's okay. Okay? But the person who gives the rahan, he has no right. Because he put it as what? As security, as we said, a deposit for now.
It is permissible for the debtor to mortgage his share of a property owned by him and others because he is permitted to sell his share to pay back his debt.
Right. We are in a company. For example, Islam and Shiraz, they have companies, have 50-50. And then one of them, he wants to take loan from somebody else. Either organization like banks or like a government agency or person, doesn't matter. And he said, okay, give me this money and I put as rahan my share in this company. Is it okay or not? It's okay. It's okay. Okay? The other partner, he cannot say don't put it. But when they come to sell it, the other partner have the priority to buy it, to buy this share, to pay for the debt. Huh?
It is permissible to mortgage the purchased article for its price, as this price is a liability on the debtor, that is, the mortgager. And the purchased article is possessed by him, so he can mortgage it. For example, if someone buys a house or a car on credit or in cash, but the price is not paid yet, he is permitted to mortgage it so as to pay its price to the seller. However, neither the debtor nor the creditor is permitted to dispose of the collateral except after getting the permission of the other.
Right, this is what they do right now. For example, they sell you a car, okay, and down payment, and they say will not transfer it in your name.
Remains the property of the
Yeah, stay as the remainder property. Tell you, you finish your full payment. So this is a kind of fraud also. This is the example that he mentioned here. So you can buy something and you don't, you consider it as it's not yours, okay, or under the authority of the one that you buy it from. You bought a house, a farm, whatever, from somebody, and then he said, we keep it in your name, but there should be paper. Should be written agreement on this, okay, and should be certified, especially these days. Otherwise, maybe after he gets his money then, and he said, well, he will deny that this is. So to solve all problems, the Muslims should be careful about this, especially a matter. If you notice that in Sharia, when a matter has come to money, okay, because people, when it comes to a matter of money, maybe they forget everything else. Believe me. Now you are with good friends. You are two friends. All your life are very nice, gentle to each other. The minute that you start company or business, it's the education. Then you start everyone look at the other as partner. And subhanallah, there's even some brothers and the family itself. When they started money involved, relation what? Go down. Alas, you forget it. So subhanallah, this is the Sharia to protect us from this evil, thought. We should put the rules that protect the rights of every individual of every side. So the shaitan will have no way and access to make any dispute among ourselves. Now,
if either of them disposes of the philanderer, he causes a loss to the other. That is, the debtor disposes of the philanderer without the creditor's permission. He deprives him from securing the deed. Similarly, if the creditor disposes of the collateral without the debtor's permission, he will be disposing of a property that does not belong to him.
yes. Both sides, because the one, in fact, the one who puts this deposit, it's not him. And this deposit still, it's not him. It's not his. Okay, it's not his property. Now, when I say that this house, okay, I will keep it, and you can take it as deposit, that doesn't mean you can take it and play with it and say, no, share it, and you say, this is mine. No. This is just as security for you to get back your money. So this is the point why the one who gave the money, he has no right to do anything to harm this object or this article, whatever it is. Okay? And the other side, also, even the owner, he cannot destroy this house, he cannot do anything to this car or whatever. And he said, no, it is mine, yes, it is yours. But you put it as deposit. So it should be kept in good shape as it was seen by the one who took, who gave you the loan, to make sure that he will get his money or the value of his money. So this is what the Sheikh said here, that any change on this should be with the agreement between the two parties, the two sides. Now,
concerning making use of the collateral, it is to be according to what the two parties agree on.
Yeah, this depends on what? On the arrangement. Right? The arrangement. They said, I did this car as deposit, and said, okay, can I use it? If I agree, it's okay. If I didn't, then he should not use it. Maybe he keep it in his house, in his garage, Okay, but he do not use it. Right? But if I said, okay, no problem. He said, well, since it is parked for a long time, maybe sometimes if my car broken or I use it sometimes, it's okay. But without the permission of the owner, he cannot. No.
So if they agree on renting or concluding any other transactions with regard to the collateral, it will be permissible. However, if they do not agree to make use of the collateral remains suspended until it is redeemed.
Yeah.
The debtor is to be made able to maintain and keep the collateral. For example, watering, pollinating and treating the trees, as this is done for the benefit of the collateral.
Now, this is for trees because you cannot put farms, okay, and you said leave it. So I don't know why I can. This way that it should, because this is something that needs to be watering. Otherwise, it will be destroyed now.
The earnings received from the collateral, whether by itself, such as an animal when it becomes fatter or is able to do some work, or through its products such as offspring, wool, or whatever is begotten from it, are considered part of the collateral that can be sold with the collateral for fulfilling the debt.
It is part and it's not, okay, independent or separated. Right? Whatever comes from this. You gave him a cattle, for example, as cow. And then after a while this cow, mashallah, gave some protection, produced, and said, no, this small one is not included. You know, it's part of the debt because as it says here, it is whatever comes from because it's considered as part of the deposit. Now.
So it belongs to the labor.
Now.
It belongs to who?
Still the owner. It's still in the, owner, but he cannot use it. He cannot sell it. This is the point. He cannot sell it.
Both cannot sell it.
Both, yeah, cannot sell it. Okay? Like for example, now what they do here, you have a farm like our town, people what they do, they go to the bank, they call it agriculture bank, Bank al-Zirai, and they take loan. It's government taking, right? There's no, they don't take any interest or anything more. They take, for example, you take 100,000, you return 100,000, as it is. But what they do, they ask you to bring the ownership of the land, paper, document, yes. And then you take it to the court, and the court stamped it. They said this land, okay, is drawn for the agriculture bank till you pay the money. So you have the document, even you have the document. And it's in your land, and your property at your land, no problem. Okay? But you cannot sell this land. When you pay off all the money that you get from them, then they will give you a letter to release the land, and then you go take this formal letter to the court, and they erase it or they cancel it. So this is the way of the land itself. Now,
what about the expenses of maybe the camel or... The same ruling applies to the crops of a mortgaged land. Besides, if there is any damage caused to the collateral, the compensation for this damage is to be joined to the collateral, as it is a substitute for part of it. The debtor must provide the expenditure of the collateral. This is because Sayyid ibn Musayyib reported on the authority of Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, that the Prophet ﷺ said, when someone mortgages an item, it is not to be foreclosed. Any increase in its value goes to him, and any loss or liability must be borne by him.
now.
This is because the collateral is the property of the debtor, and it is his responsibility to provide whatever it requires for its maintenance. Also, it is the responsibility of the debtor to pay the rent of the store where the collateral is kept, the wages of guarding it, and the wages of raising the mortgage capital.
Why? Because it is his. He's the owner. Right? And he put it as temporary time deposit for the other party, just to make sure that he will pay back the debt in his side. Okay? So he should take care of everything related to this. Now,
it is part of the collateral. If part of the collateral is damaged, the rest is legally considered collateral for the whole debt, as the debt is guaranteed by the whole collateral. And as long as part of the collateral is damaged, then the rest is collateral. For the whole debt.
right? You took some farm and the part of the farm was destroyed for any reason. Then whatever left will be as continued to do the same purpose, serve the same purpose. Okay? It will be as deposit for the debt. Now,
if the debtor pays back part of the debt, no part of the collateral is to be redeemed until the debtor pays the whole debt.
now, so this is the other side. If you pay 50%, still remain. Okay, till you pay off the whole debt. This is what they do, right? Now when you buy a car or a house, they will not transfer it to your name till you pay all the money, not only part of it. Now,
when the debt is due, the debtor must pay back the whole debt to comply with the contract, whether he has given a collateral or not. Allah Azza wa Jal says, which translates, then let him who is entrusted discharge his trust faithfully, and let him fear Allah his Lord. And he also says, which translates, and not leave anything out of it.
out of what? Out of the debt? Now,
if the debtor abstains from paying back the debt to the creditor, he is considered a procrastinator, and then the judge is to oblige him to pay back the debt. However, if the debtor still refuses to pay back the debt, the judge must imprison and effect discretionary punishment on him until he pays back the debt.
if somebody said, okay, now you didn't, it's time, the debt line, to reach the debt line, time that you pay my money, and you didn't give it to me, so I'll go and sell your car to get my money. We said this should be done through whom? Through the court, through the judge. Okay? So first of all, you go to the judge, to the court, present the case, and he will force, okay, this person to pay back to you the money that he got as loan. If he said he has nothing, then the judge himself is the one who can decide that he can sell this, deposit whatever, his house or car, to settle down the case and then pay back the money to you. Now,
then if he does not pay back the debt, the judge is to sell the collateral and pay back the debt. The judge must behave on behalf of the debtor when the debtor refuses to pay back, since such a debt is an obligation on the debtor and the collateral is a mere guarantee for the debt to be returned when due. If some money remains after paying back the debt, it must be given to the debtor, as it belongs to him. Yet, if the money of the sold collateral does not cover the debt, the rest of the debt is still on the credit of the debtor, and he has to return it.
right, the money that he got the judge when they sold this house, the money for them they get 100,000, and the debt was only 100,000. What they do?
The money should be given
Yeah.
back to the one who...
The owner.
The owner of the
Yes.
battery.
Okay? So he paid the 80. This the purpose is already covered. The purpose is to guarantee the amount that you paid. So when he gets it back, then the 20,000 or the rest will be go to the owner. Now, in case of the opposite, طيب, for example, he pay 80 and still there are 20,000, it will be still in his side.
He still has to pay that.
You have to stay there and then they just take care. For example, he maybe write it down or maybe he asks for something else as collateral or whatever. Now,
But it should always be done through that. We cannot just say, okay, today you did not pay my money, I'll pay.
yeah, no, because if you open this door, people will get the advantage. And this is the problem sometimes of what they do sometimes. They do, they want to sign, they ask you to sign, for example, authorization for them. Okay, so they don't need to go to the court. What is the authorization? Authorization that I authorize you to sell this house. So they can sell it.
That can be done.
Yeah, this is what they do. Okay? Well, if you agree to it, this is your choice and you left it.
You can tell me anytime.
Okay? No, they will not sell it any time, but after the period of time, 2 years, and you didn't pay, and they have authorization to sell this land, they will sell it. They will not wait for you. Now, where we were, yes, sir. Just stop just for Quran. That's fine. Look, inshallah, will study Abhaman, guarantee Abhaman. Inshallah, this Friday I'm giving khutbah here. Inshallah. Do you have any subject you think it's very... Yes, Sheikh Abu Musab, I think, Jazakallah khair. Abu Musab, he talked about it. In fact, I wrote one answer also. I don't know if you follow the Q&A at Saudi Gazette. The last, did you see it? Last Friday, every Friday, you can check it in the Saudi Gazette. Or also, sometimes I put link in my Facebook for it. But anyway, you can check Saudi Gazette every Friday, the day Friday. If you just at Google check Saudi Gazette, you'll find it in Islam, Q&A, you'll find it. Or you can buy it. So I talk about the movie also. I think it's covered, mashallah. Is there any, because I think the subject was about repentance. I just did about repentance. So I remember that we talked about this. It's okay. Huh?
I'll take that.
I think it's good to talk about it again. Huh?
So how about the belief of Allah being in the arsh? Everybody thinks it's Allah everywhere. That's a big misconception.
Aqid.
Also, I think that whether it can provide with this model issue, right? Nabil our issue, last week we have done, but over this month, Nabil our month, celebration in our, like I mentioned, they are celebrating like a second month, like the whole month is there.
Yeah, but since Sheikh Mus'ab, he explained everything about the Mawlid and that bid'ah and everything.
Yeah.
So I think that he covered the subject. Okay. I don't think it needs to be repeated again.
Yes, there is one which is people, especially Pakistan, India, they have this conception that Muharram and Safar is these are two bad months. They give you for bad luck during the Muharram in particular, and now like recently they have added Safar to it, and like now they say like Safar is for something, like English Safar, suffering. Yeah. So
We talk about this.
yes. So if there is something which is available for that,
Yes, I made one khutbah about it.
what is for that?
Remember, Ya Ibrahim? What khutbah? Safar. About superstition. Remember? Huh? You talk about summer superstition. You didn't hear? Anybody has it? Anybody has it? Please send it to Ibrahim and Ibrahim.
Yeah, if you available in the email, so if you can forward that.
Talk about it. Yes.
Family plans, because a lot of misconceptions, like, they don't want to, they're limited to 2 kids and 1 kid, like,
Family plan.
That's good. Okay. Somebody talk about it?
No.
Maybe I'll talk about family plan and how the name that you give to your kids, because I noticed that especially non-Arabs, unfortunately, because in our culture we have no problem with it. But non-Arab, what they do, they give the second name of the boy, they give, I think, the name of the mother's side or somebody else, like the Philippines, right? They do this. Okay, which is not right. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Id'uhum bi'aba'i." Okay? Be careful about this, Ya Abu Talha. Talha should be, his name is Talha ibn Ibrahim. Don't give him Talha, Safi al-Rahman, Ibrahim, put something. No.
This is what they are getting from American culture. They have like middle name is for whoever you want to choose.
That's not right.
You can choose like even your like hockey player you like, you can put his name.
Subhanallah. They do this in Philippines, right? How about India? They do the same? India?
In India they added Muhammad. Yes, Muhammad in India.
Okay, no problem. Muhammad, okay. Yeah, but the second name is the father name?
No, not father. Father name also they have.
Muhammad, for example, father name is Muhammad Hamza, son name is Muhammad Ahmad.
Right.
Muhammad. No, they keep grandfather name. Sometimes they keep grandfather.
No problem. For example, now you, Ibrahim, your name is what?
Muhammad Ibrahim.
Muhammad Ibrahim what?
My father name is Leila Muhammad.
Ismail?
Leila Muhammad.
Right. And your name is Muhammad Ibrahim. This is the full name for you.
Yes, Muhammad Ibrahim.
Personal name for you, the best name for you.
Yes.
And then, is it written in the document that Muhammad Ibrahim, Naina Muhammad?
No, only Muhammad Ibrahim, but father name Leila Muhammad. The passport.
The first one.
Like
Father name.
father name Leila Muhammad.
Okay, and the family name, which is
No family name. Don't
the
have
family name?
India no family name. A lot of people don't have it. Some people have it. Last this side maybe they have some kids, but south no family don't have.
How about Sri Lanka?
My name goes like Muhammad Aslam, Muhammad Mamsi.
And there's something like this. Okay, so you still, mashallah, have at least the name of the father. At least people know who is your father. Right or not? From the document they know who is your father. It's very important, brother, to keep the family tree. It's very important. At least for the, for 3 or 4 or 5 generations. Why? Because there are many things that depend on this. The Sharia, like inheritance, okay, like marriage relation. For example, if you don't have this name and people are separated, and then you don't know, maybe somebody will marry somebody that is not lawful for him. Okay, which is very important. Now,
and another point is,
yes.
in India, girls after marriage they keep husband name.
Yes.
Next to the name. Fatima, the husband name is there.
No, that's not right. Inshallah, I will talk about it.
And also, this is very important. These are the rules of the government.
Now,
The government.
yeah, do the government force you? No, force you when you get married. Do they force you, for example?
It is like an obligation.
We have family code.
Family code, they should do it, huh?
Like for example, daughter, if she gets married,
Yes.
the surname of the husband.
But if she said, no, I want to keep my family name, is there a problem? I know in the marriage, for example, they don't force you. I mean, if there's some ladies, they keep their family, original family name. Anyway, right, let's continue to finish this. Yeah. Where we were? Last paragraph, yalla.
If the collateral is an animal which needs expenditures and is kept by the creditor, the wise lawgiver permits him to ride it, if it is a riding animal, and to milk it, if it is a milk animal, provided that he provides the expenditures.
Halas, you got it now? That's it. Sayyid, if you benefit from this mortgage, then you should take care of it. You benefit like ride, for example, a car. And they said, okay, you can use the car. Then who should pay the gas? The owner or the one who uses it. And maintenance, who should have it? Same like this, the example of the camel here, or the cows, or whatever. Since you get the milk, okay, and you ride it, then you should what? Eat it. But if it's not, then the owner. Take care. Yeah. Okay,
The owner is giving like the food for the cow, for example. And the milk that is produced belongs to the owner.
I need to check this point.
Oh,
Will you send it this?
okay.
Okay, continue.
The Prophet,
Alayhi
the mortgage animal can be used for riding as long as it is fed, and the milk of the milk animal can be drunk according to what one spends on it. The one who rides the animal or drinks its milk should provide the expenditure.
Now, answer. Okay.
The one who rides the animal or drinks its milk
So,
should provide the
however, I think the next line will be more. Go ahead.
So whoever rides the animal or drinks its milk must provide the expenditure in return for his making use of it. Any other utility gained from this animal belongs to its owner, the debtor.
That's clear? The answer is clear. Now, okay, Ibn al-Qayyim?
Ibn al-Qayyim, may Allah be pleased with himself, the hadith as well as the general principles and the original rules of the Sharia indicate that the Muslim must take care of the mortgage animal in order to observe the orders of Allah. Moreover, the owner of such an animal has the right of ownership, and the mortgage has the right to guarantee his own property by keeping the collateral. If the mortgagee keeps the animal and neither rides nor milks it, he misses his right to make use of it. Thus, depending on justice and a logical deduction as well as the interest of the mortgager, mortgagee and the mortgage animal, the mortgagee is permitted to ride and milk the mortgage animal in return for his providing its expenditures. When the mortgagee lawfully makes use of the mortgage animal and provides the expenditures, this satisfies the interest of both the mortgager and the mortgagee and keeps their rights.
No. See.
Some of the
Fuqaha.
may Allah have mercy on them, maintain that there are two categories of collateral. The first needs expenditures, while the second does not. The first category of collateral is divided into two subcategories. The first subcategory...
Okay, we'll leave this for, because it needs more explanation, so we'll leave it for next week, inshallah. طيب, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك اللهم وبحمدك. We'll meet after Salah, inshallah, for the hour.